guys, it's about 7 o'clock on Tuesday and I'm off to see Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, a film that I've been kind of looking forward to for quite a while. I've been hearing some mixed bags about it, but I'm a big fan of Ant-Man. The first Ant-Man film is like one of my favourite MCU films, and I really like the second one. It has some weak fillers, but it's a ton of fun. So I'm going into this optimistic, and I'm just hoping to have a really fun time.
So yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it. But it is the weakest in the trilogy. Now, I was down with the whole concept of Ant-Man dealing with a Avengers level threat, and also the idea of Ant-Man taking on a variant of Kang the Conqueror sounded pretty cool. And the departure from the first two films, whilst at the same time setting up Phase 5 and Avengers Kang Dynasty, on paper it all sounded cool, but the execution, meh. I'll start by saying this: Jonathan Majors as Kang is just awesome. He lives up to the hype. He is a threat to the MCU. He is a force to be reckoned with. I mean, I can't wait to see more of him. The rest of the cast, however, they were fine, but they're nothing special. There's nothing really to talk about. Throughout the film, there are moments of charm, like Scott and Agent Woo going to dinner together. There are great moments of humour, like Hope's parents discussing their sex life in front of her. And there's some great moments of epicness, like when Michael Douglas comes in with an army of ants. And at the final battle between Scott and Kang, and you know Scott is getting beaten, but he keeps getting back up. Even though he has no chance against him, he just keeps getting back up, and it's one of the reasons why Scott Lang is one of my favourite heroes of the MCU. However, the rest of the film is kind of dull, and I don't blame Peyton Reed because he did a great job with the first two films, and I think he did the best job he could with the script. My main issue is the script. I mean, compared to the first two films, when you got about 4 or 5 writers, in Quantumania, you only have one, and that's Jeff Loveness. And he hasn't really written a lot. He's written stuff, most popular like Rick and Morty, and he's also writing Avengers Kang Dynasty, which I'm kind of worried about now. But on a side note, there's stuff that happens in the film that is just so Rick and Morty. Now, I understand why they wanted to go for a different setting. I mean, you could tell they were going for like a Star Wars, Dune, Fifth Element, even Strange World kind of vibe. But my issue is with the Quantum Realm that it's just so boring. I mean, there's really nothing to do. It just doesn't do anything different. It doesn't really add anything to the MCU. I mean, we've seen this all done before in other movies. And if I wanted a cosmic fantasy adventure, I would just watch Guardians of the Galaxy or Thor Ragnarok. And I've got to be honest, I didn't care about these new characters. I mean, Bill Murray and Michael Jackson Harper were fine, I guess, but why no Michael Pena? I mean, he was the vital part of those first two films. And in this, it's like he never existed. And MODOK. MODOK is a hit and miss. He does have his moments, but they should have kept him for a main villain for another MCU movie. There's problems all over the place with this movie. I mean, the first act is just jarring, the pacing is just on and off, half the CGI is just wishy-washy, and it kind of has a plot hole, and that regards to how much time passes for how much time you are in the quantum realm, but that just gets forgotten. Overall, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania tries to do something new compared to the first two films. Unfortunately, it just changes environment whilst having basic comic book movie tropes. It does have the best villain in the trilogy, and it does have its moments, so I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I don't want to be harsh, but I love Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. I just adore that character, and there's just too many problems to ignore, and he deserves better. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Go like, share, subscribe, and let me know, what did you think of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania? Go check out my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Instagram page. You guys are awesome. I got your back.